The most difficult 2 words in the English language for Guy Junker to utter.
Flyers win.
That's it. 2-1 last night. And it's becoming a bit of a theme here now. 3 in a row, the Penguins are on a skid. Guy, does this organization need major changes in terms of a shake-up short-term, or is this nothing to worry about, long season that happens to everybody?
I think it needs a shake-up short-term. I'm talking about on the ice. I start juggling lines a little bit. To me, the Crosby line looks stale. Bo Bennett's playing on the wrong wing on the third line. Maybe you move him, if not to the correct side on the third line, move him up to the wrong wing with some other guys, maybe where he can inject some life. And I would start there. They got to do something a little different. It's 3 games in a row. They haven't produced a 5-on-5 goal. 1 goal in each of the last 3 games, all of those on the power play. I think the thing that makes you think, don't get too excited. And I keep thinking about what Dayon said when he was on with us last week. If your big concern with the Penguins is not scoring goals, then you don't have a big concern because you know eventually they'll come. I kind of agree with that, but there have been a lot of games. Last night, to me, was almost a mirror image of that Colorado game. Facing a backup goalie, gangbusters for the first 10 to 15 minutes, fall behind and lose the game. The Kunitz goal should have been called back. I was the first guy to tweet. He kicked that in. There's no way that's counting.
Good call.
That's fine. But don't lose that momentum. And then I think it was Bortuzzo hit the post. They had opportunities. They totally outplayed the Flyers. I saw you tweeted about how they looked like a tired hockey team that had played the night before.
Philly did early.
But
yeah.
I don't think Philly played a great game. Emery was pretty tough in goal. But, Chris Letang's got a gaping entire side of the net, and he misses. They fumble around with that puck at the end of the second period, pass the damn thing, shoot the damn thing, and then end up with a great opportunity and 3 guys crash in the net, and the horn sounds, and nothing happens. I just think right now they're stale, and they need a little shake. I'm not anything major, but I would switch some lines up for a few games.
Well, I don't disagree, and you can always go back to what you've established. It's not like that.
In the modern NHL,
apart.
Ken, that's what they do. Nobody keeps lines together forever and ever like they used to.
I do wonder about the leadership of the team and how they'll come out of this. It's a new group. I mean, they've missed a couple of veterans here with Matt Cook being gone, and just kind of a new vibe in the room over there. Still, obviously, Crosby is the captain and dominates, and they have guys that have been together for a while. But how do they handle this? And do they start thinking back to last year in the Bruins series? And does it start to worry them a little bit? And would they actually welcome a shakeup? But you're right. You look at the stat sheet and the final numbers on a game like this: 19 missed shots. Some of them from point-blank range. It's just a head-scratcher. They almost took the boards down behind the net with authority. I mean, it was incredible.
Well, what bothers me is they have a stretch now where they play 11 games in 18 days. They're going to be dog-butt tired at the end of that, and they've had a chance now against some pretty good hockey clubs, but they've only had 3 games over the last 11 days. This was one of those rare. This is as nice a schedule as you're going to have. Now, maybe that's part of the excuse. Maybe because maybe they're a little bit rusty. Maybe they haven't been playing enough to stay on their game. The Flyers, that's the Flyers' 3rd game in 5 nights. So
they're sharper.
But normally, the team playing the second game of a 2-night, 2 games in 2 nights, has a bad record. You don't win most of those games. You lose more of those games than you win. So I'm not using that as an excuse, but they are kind of a Ferrari when it comes to most teams in the league. They're not, they're not a pickup truck, and maybe they need a tune-up a little bit, and they haven't played enough to stay right on their game. And I don't think it's panic time. I think we're acting as if, when they did get off.
Trade for Iginla.
They got off to an 11-4 start, and they did score a bunch of goals. But this drought that's happening right now, I don't think you can just keep sitting by after 3 games now. 3 goals in 9 periods, and the 2 wins before that were against a lousy Columbus team. I don't think you can just sit by and do nothing and think it's going to take care of itself. 1 game, yeah. 2 games, yeah. 3 games in a row, 3 goals, nothing 5-on-5.
Hire Craig Berube. It's amazing. Philly is starting to believe a little bit. They've gotten
6 out of 9 now, yeah. Well, they got healthy, too. I mean, that's one thing the Penguins have not had all year. Paul Martin missing last night. Letang missed significant time. Neal's hardly played at all. I mean, that's not an excuse. They still have enough players to, but I mean, they also don't have a losing record. I mean, they're sitting there in first place in the division starting the night. I mean, we're complaining about, we're showing a little bit of our signs of spoiledness, I think, too.
Sure. Well, it's Philadelphia. They bring out the worst in all of us.
Yeah.
And all the hard work the Penguins had done and separating in the Metropolitan Division getting a whole lot tighter, including Washington.
Well, the other weird thing is, too, Ken, for whatever reason, this series has been dominated by the visiting team.
Yeah.
Out of the last 29 times the Penguins have played the Flyers, the home team has only won 5 times out of those 29 times. It's weird.
Ken and Guy, weekdays here on TribLive.com.